Hello happy YouTubers, this is Marceline at cashewbeans.com and welcome to my channel. Oh my goodness, it's getting crazy around here. I'm on the top of my fish tank next to aquaponics gravel bed and wind is blowing. Oh my goodness. So look at my plants are happy and healthy, especially my weird paper plant. This is Peter Pete. Look at the fruit. It's weird and it's happy in this environment. I grew the plant on the wiki pot and I just love the wiki grow garden, guys, because it helps me minimize my daily watering to plants. Since I placed the pot on the top of aquaponics gravel bed, water is continuously wicking the pot, supplying water to the plant, so I don't have to worry watering or misting. Is that so cool? Wiki grow garden is one of the coolest methods of growing plants. I have video on the wiki grow garden. You might consider watching that video. Actually, the concept of wiki grow garden came from the idea of Larry Hall, and he looked for best environment to grow plants and created a plastic rain gutter system. That was his idea. When we look at the system, we kind of liking it, so we created our own wiki grow system and improvised. Instead of using plastic to grow plants, we use cloth pot because cloth allows the plants to grow healthier and bigger, also prevents root bound. During hot summer days, cloth doesn't conduct heat, so it gives a cooler effect to the environment of the plant, and that was one of our improvements to a new improved wiki grow. In fact, I have my book here written by Greg Steven. So this is Backyard Gardening Wiki Grow System, and if you want a copy of this book and build your own wiki grow garden, check the link description below. So today we're gonna be doing a small project and using the concept of wiki grow created by Lori Hall and Greg Steven. So we're gonna be creating a mini wiki grow container to use as our propagator. So we're going to combine soil and water to root our cuttings. Don't click away. Be right back. This is the simplest project effective to use method of plant propagation and yet cheap to build. I bought this sponge at Mark's for $2. This is multi-purpose cleaning sponge, and I use this sponge to wick the water. Now, if you propagate cuttings in bottle and use soilless media to root the cuttings, consider using this method. This is my mini version of Wiki Grow system created by Lori Hall and Greg 7. And this is so cool because my propagation fits with this water bottle, and I propagated line. Now, when you think of propagation by stem cuttings, let me show you here. I have this rose cutting from Floral store. Hopefully I can root this cutting. It's already, oh, it's forming new bud here. Look at that. Unrooted cutting, first major requirement is water to keep the cutting alive. Let me return this before it dries out. I just love Pagpanics, guys. #1 propagator I have in my garden. So it is difficult to monitor watering, and sometimes you overwatered your cuttings or underwatered. And if you propagate your cuttings in dome tree, you have to make sure you seal the dome to increase humidity and moisture inside the environment. And using this method, you don't have to worry about watering, because water is already supplying in the bottle and automatically supplying to your cuttings, so your cuttings don't dry out. And also, you don't have to water all the time. You only water, I never water these cuttings. It's almost 3 weeks now and I still have water in the bottle. Now when I build the system, I use hydrogen peroxide in water because hydrogen has two purposes in the propagation. The first purpose of hydrogen is eliminating fungal growth in water and also in soil. And also it provides extra 2 oxygen molecules of atom in water, supplying that oxygen to your cuttings, especially during root development. Root needs high rates of oxygen supply to continue growing. So that was the purpose of hydrogen peroxide. Now, how often do you add hydrogen peroxide in your propagation? I would say add 1 teaspoon or 1 drop of hydrogen peroxide once every 2 weeks. Now, the advantage of Wiki Grow system to propagate plants, you are using 2 substrates. You're using soil and water. Now let me show you here the advantage of Wiki Grow. Now I propagated this, actually this spider plant brought home from my son in school. Probably they had gardening activity in class. So my son brought his new propagated spider plant in 4-inch pot. And when I look at it, the soil was too dry because he only added less soil and did not water the cutting. So the cutting was drying out. And I recovered the cutting by placing in this pot. So I propagated, actually I redo the propagation and place my propagation in this pot using the Wiki system. Now as you see, this is the result of the propagation. Look at that, is beautiful plant, and I added nutrients to the water, so plant gets good amount of water and also nutrients. And my son never see this spider plant since then he brought home, and if I showed it to him, he probably happy to see this plant growing like this. So this is the advantage of propagating plants using Wiki system. And also I have this propagation here, the nerd plant, and I place in this pot and I use this wicking string. Now I found out that the differences of using sponge and the string. Sponge wicks better as opposed to the string, and also wicks faster. So if I seal this plant in this spot where I propagated the nerd, I can just keep the string here and pack this plant and ship. So that is great for using the Wiki Grow system to propagate plants, because you just leave the way it is. You don't have to transfer if you are using a regular pot. Now let's check our propagation. This is already 1 month and I did not check if this cutting is rooted because I waited until today to show you guys the outcome. Are you guys ready? So this is already 1 month of propagation, and as you can see, the soil is not soggy. It's just perfect, guys. Look at that. Look at that. It's perfect. It's moist and not saturated. I use microgreens. Microgreens is awesome. Awesome substrate to propagate your cuttings. Look at that. It's so fine. Oh, look at that, guys. Awesome. So it takes 1 month to get this root like this. You're happy, aren't you? So I probably transfer this in a pot, but for now I just put back to the system so it gets that water. So this is awesome, guys. So try to use this kind of method. Improve your propagation. My son asked me the other day, he said, "Mom, do you agree?" I said, "What?" Do you agree that there is always space for new ideas? And I said, yeah, because this is another idea from the first idea presented by Laurie Hall and Grade 7. So I created that idea, bringing that to create my own mini propagator. So try to propagate plants that are hard to root from cuttings and see how it works. Citrus is easy to propagate. I mostly propagate my citrus using this method and also using my dome tree. I don't use my propagation, organic propagation, because my fogger machine is loaded. So this is for today, folks, and hopefully this video help you. Again, try this method and start propagating your plants. You can propagate inside your home, and what is great about it, if you put this in on the top of the heating mat, then it creates that heat in the water and speed up the rooting process. This is cold because we are now November and we are starting to have this cooler temperature. So stay there. So this is for today, guys, and if you enjoy watching this video, hit thumbs up. And also, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Join my gardening family. It is fun, and this is advanced gardening family, and we will work together to work these different ideas, and you will learn different types of gardening in this channel. So again, thank you for watching. Marcelina here at cashewbeans.com. See you next time. Peace out.